ShopRite CompuTicket. Your story matters. ABSA.
For in-depth news coverage from across Zambia, local and national news, business, politics, and sports, this is the Sun FM News, brought to you by ABSA. Your story matters.
The news.
Hello, thank you for joining us. My name is Imelda Chukwati to present the news on Sun FM Radio and TV. President Hakainde Hichilema says late former President Kenneth Kaunda's deep commitment to preserving culture and heritage reflected his understanding that a people rooted in their identity remain resilient through the tides of time. The Zambia Land Alliance has raised concerns about mining licenses being granted to foreign investors in farm blocks, arguing that this practice infringes on the rights of local landowners. The Chisamba solar plant is entering its final phase, powered by high-efficiency bifacial panels designed to capture sunlight from both sides. Copper Princesses midfielder Helen Banda has described Zambia's historic back-to-back qualification to the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup as a result of pure determination and hunger.
The news. 88.5 Sun FM.
President Hakainde Hichilema says late former President Kenneth Kaunda's deep commitment to preserving culture and heritage reflected his understanding that a people rooted in their identity remain resilient through the tides of time. President Hichilema revealed that since its declaration as a public holiday, 28th April, Zambia's unity is invigorated to honor the life and legacy of the country's founding father, Dr. Kaunda. He said the day has stood as more than a mere date because it serves as a living testament to the sacrifices, dreams, and hopes of a man who dedicated his life to securing freedom and dignity for all. Mr. Hichilema stated that President Kaunda was not just a leader, he embodied the conscience of the nation, adding that a steadfast champion of unity, peace, reconciliation, and love, his influence extended beyond Zambia, reaching across the African continent. The head of state said the country reflects today citizens must embrace the spirit of unity that Dr. Kaunda so passionately cultivated and reaffirmed dedication to peace, reconciliation, and the relentless pursuit of the sacrifices freedom demands. He urged people to embrace compassion for their neighbors, just as Dr. Kaunda did for humanity. The president has since emphasized the importance of preserving national identity following Dr. Kaunda's dedicated efforts and encouraged all to honor his legacy of being worthy successors in their own time. The Zambia Land Alliance, ZLA, has raised concerns about mining licenses being granted to foreign investors in farm blocks, arguing that this practice infringes on the rights of local landowners. ZLA Executive Director Patrick Musole pointed out that gaps in the law allow foreign investors to take advantage of the system. Under the current Mines and Minerals Development Act, underground rights hold more legal weight than surface rights, meaning that if minerals are found on farmland, mining license holders can claim and use the land before those with surface rights. Mr. Musole criticized government for failing to strengthen laws that protect landowners and farmers, emphasizing the need for legislative reforms to prevent mining licenses from being issued in farm areas, game parks, and other sensitive locations.
Or those who have only surface rights to do the farming activities, their rights are inferior compared to those that have mining rights. So it is not the fault of the investors who begin to do mining in the farm blocks. It is the fault of the law, the authority. So in order to arrest this, we need to change the law so that the Ministry of Mines stops giving licenses in farm blocks.
The Chisamba solar plant is entering its final phase, powered by high-efficiency bifacial panels designed to capture sunlight from both sides. Plant manager Chiza Nyirenda says the $100 million project has created more than 1,200 jobs since construction began in July 2024. Mr. Nyirenda says the plant will generate an estimated 202 gigawatts annually, enough to power between 30,000 and 50,000 homes. Meanwhile, Minister of Information and Media Director spokesperson Henry Kapata says government's push to diversify Zambia's energy sources is moving in the right direction.
That means there's light.
Every second counts as teams race to complete the Chisamba solar plant by May this year. Only a few minor works remain at the 100 megawatt site, the project that stands out for its scale and purpose. Plant manager Chiza Nyirenda says the plant is more than infrastructure. It's a step toward energy security and reliable power for Zambians.
Generating with solar power, it does not really necessarily mean that the hotter it is, the more you generate. Not necessarily. It actually uses light. So the light, as long as you're able to see visible light, it means the solar modules are able to generate. So these actually give you extra addition in terms of energy yield because of the bifaciality, meaning it's able to generate from the front as well as the back surface of the solar module. They're quite robust, so they give you yields of 5 to 10% extra compared to the ones which are called monofacial.
For the government, the plant answers the urgent needs to meet the rising demand and reduce dependence on hydropower.
Absolutely. The president has been very clear. And when we look at such a project, which is at 97% done, meaning 3% just housekeeping, a few things that must be done, fittings, then it is done. By May, we have been told it will start functioning, meaning it will be completely done and start functioning, integrated into the national grid. The substation, 132 kV substation, almost ready to start evacuating power.
Young engineers like Francis Selabwa Liaofia, the only female engineer on site, say the project is a rare chance to build skills and grow Zambia's renewable energy workforce.
It's something that I have never done before, and it's something which has opened up my mind. To see a transformer from the inside, to see all the smaller transformers behind me, and just everything is quite a different experience.
In just 10 months, Zambia is preparing to deliver a new energy chapter. On decommissioning day, every single day matters. Moses Mbeo Jr., Sun TV News, Chisamba, Central Zambia.
As Zambia commemorates World Safety Day, Africa's Safety Awards for Excellence President Helen Mwamba has emphasized the need to invest in digital literacy and capacity building to fully leverage artificial intelligence, AI, and digitalization for workplace safety. Ms. Mwamba acknowledged the rapid transformation AI and digitalization are bringing to the world of work, but stressed that technology alone cannot ensure safer workplaces. She highlighted that the true impact will come from equipping safety professionals, workers, and organizations with the skills to effectively and responsibly utilize these innovations. The AfriSafe president urged African safety leaders to embrace AI as a vital ally in advancing workplace health and safety rather than viewing it as a threat. This year's World Safety Day is themed Revolutionizing Health and Safety, the Role of AI and Digitalization at Work.
AI may detect a hazard, but it takes a safety leader to act on it. It may optimize processes, but it is up to us to ensure processes protect lives. As we integrate these tools, we must also invest in capacity building, digital literacy, and inclusive innovation. Let us make sure that there is no one left behind in this technological shift, not the frontliner, not the small businesses, not the safety officer who may be new to AI, but is deeply experienced in hazard recognition. We need everyone on the table.
The Zambian Cybersecurity Initiative Foundation has emphasized that the newly signed Cybersecurity Act will strengthen agencies handling cybercrime cases and improve expert management in Zambia's digital space. Foundation President John Shinseki highlighted the importance of having distinct laws to prevent excessive power concentration and ensure effective oversight. He also called for awareness campaigns and translations of the legislation into local languages, arguing that this would help citizens better understand and engage with the law, ultimately fostering a safer digital environment. The Cybersecurity Act, signed into law by President Hakainde Hichilema on April 8, 2025, establishes the Zambia Cybersecurity Agency, regulates cybersecurity service providers, and strengthens protections for critical information infrastructure. It replaces the Cybersecurity and Cybercrimes Act of 2021 with updated provisions tailored to modern digital threats.
The putting together of laws, I think, was essential, has been long overdue, and the separation of the two, because we had too much power placed in the hands of Victor and a few others that were not able to manage things effectively. That's why you saw that Victor was really failing to really handle everything because of the overwhelmed cases of cyber crime cases that were being reported to them.
The Community Advocacy Forum Youth Club has urged political parties in Zambia to avoid divisions, tribalism, and regional politics, emphasizing that such practices harm the nation's democracy. Club leader Sansele Mbelele highlighted the importance of fostering peace and unity among political leaders while aligning their efforts with Zambia's developmental goals across all 10 provinces. Mr. Mbelele also reaffirmed the organization's commitment to ensuring that young people are not exploited for violence or disrespecting political leaders, particularly President Hakainde Hichilema. Additionally, the club welcomed the enactment of the Cyber Crimes and Cybersecurity Act of 2025, noting its potential to curb social media abuse in the country.
So we are seeing a legacy of the younger generation that are misusing the social media, for example. And there's a coming in of the cyber law that has been put in place to curtail those social media that can abuse this law, so that the law can find them wanting. Today we are seeing political parties that are fighting each other in terms of tribalism and other aspects that are not building this country.
The Medical for Quality Health Care in Zambia, MQHZ, has raised serious concerns over the high number of cervical cancer deaths in the country, revealing that 1,904 women die annually from the disease. The organization attributes this prevalence to human papilloma virus (HPV) and stresses that early detection is crucial in preventing unnecessary deaths. Director General Dr. Queens Mabo has called for greater investment in HPV screening, arguing that it is essential to reducing the social and economic burden of cervical cancer. He urges immediate action to prioritize diagnostics and ensure equitable access to HPV testing and treatment. Dr. Mabu also encourages men to consider voluntary medical male circumcision, citing its effectiveness in reducing HPV transmission and protecting their partners. Additionally, he urges parents to allow girls aged 9 to 14 to receive the free HPV vaccine, which he describes as safe and effective in preventing cervical cancer. Zambia has been actively working to improve cervical cancer screening, with HPV testing now available in all 10 provinces. Government aims to achieve 90% of HPV vaccination coverage, 70% screening coverage, and 90% treatment and care coverage by 2030. In 2023 alone, over 40,000 women were screened using HPV-based methods. This is the news on Sun FM Radio and TV. For now, we take a break.
You've been waiting all year, planning, training for this one thing. The 18th edition of the ABSA Cup is here. In the football stands, we stand as one. Now, it's time to get together for the ultimate soccer experience, the ABSA Cup. Follow the action this March to May and watch it on SuperSport, DSTV, and GoTV. Grab your tickets now at ShopRite CompuTicket. Your story matters. ABSA.
Are your dreams on hold? Maybe that much needed home improvement, starting a business, upgrading your qualification, or simply taking that dream vacation? At ABSA, we understand. That's why we offer collateral-free personal loans of up to 850,000 kwacha with a 7-year payment plan. Now you can access more financial support to turn your dreams into reality. Let's help you write the next chapter of your story. Call 5950 for more information. Terms and conditions apply. Your story matters. ABSA.
In sports news now, Copper Princesses midfielder Helen Banda has described Zambia's historic back-to-back qualification to the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup as a result of pure determination and hunger. The Copper Princesses have arrived back in Zambia after their historic qualification for the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup. Fast Media reports that Association President Andrew Kamanga, flanked by General Secretary Ruben Kamanga, led the warm welcome at Kenneth Kaunda International Airport in Lusaka. The FAS boss assured the team of adequate preparations ahead of the World Cup, reaffirming FAS's commitment to ensuring the Copper Princesses are fully supported as they take on the world. Meanwhile, Botswana is aiming to secure its first COSAFA Under-17 Girls Championship title this year, when the tournament is played in Windhoek, Namibia, from May 10 to 17. Historically, Botswana had done well, finishing in 4th place in 2019 and 2022 respectively, and as runners-up in 2021 after being defeated 4-0 in the final by Zambia. They will begin this year's competition in Group C with Lesotho and Zimbabwe. In her 3rd year working with the nation's Under-17 girls side, assistant coach Bonang Bebeto Mosete is happy with what she has seen from her squad in the lead-up to the tournament. She believes that the player in this year's squad with a prior experience will be vital to their championship aspirations, while the newcomers have adapted well to the demands of playing at a higher level. While winning is the primary objective, Mosete hopes her players get more than a gold medal out of the tournament. Now, as we leave the headlines once again, President Hakainde Hichilema says late former President Kenneth Kaunda's deep commitment to preserving culture and heritage reflected his understanding that a people rooted in their identity remain resilient through the tides of time. The Zambia Land Alliance has raised concerns about mining licenses being granted to foreign investors in farm blocks, arguing that this practice infringes on the rights of local landowners. The Zambia solar plant is entering its final phase, powered by high-efficiency bifacial panels designed to capture sunlight from both sides. And in sports news, Copper Princesses midfielder Helen Banda has described Zambia's historic back-to-back qualification to the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup as a result of pure determination and hunger. On behalf of the entire news team, my name is Imelda Chukwati. Stay with us.
The News, 88.5 Sun FM.
A comprehensive coverage of local and national news, business, politics, and sports. The Sun FM News was brought to you by ABSA. Your story matters.
You've been waiting all year, planning, training for this one thing. The 18th edition of the ABSA Cup is here. In the football stands, we stand as one. Now, it's time to get together for the ultimate soccer experience, the ABSA Cup. Follow the action this March to May and watch it on SuperSport, DSTV, and GoTV. Grab your tickets now at ShopRite CompuTicket. Your story matters. ABSA.
Are your dreams on hold? Maybe that much needed home improvement?